holidays. So a lot of questions keep popping into us about holidays and how to handle them. And the question is the misconception that I'm constantly trying to chat to you fabulous leaders about is this: oh, well, if they don't use them, they just lose them and then there's no problem in the organisation. And actually there is. It's as serious from a legal perspective as not paying somebody their statutory minimum wage. So it's what's called a statute right. So you have a legal obligation as a manager to ensure that people are taking their statute right of annual leave. So that's the next question is, okay, well, what's the statute right? The statute right is we should be able to give employees 20 days, full-time employees, so it's prorated for anybody else, 20 days holiday, so 20 days off per year plus 8 bank holidays. Tribunals got frustrated. We all know that we put those two together. Because of that, I can explain the reasons in a separate note. That's not the purpose of this note. So from a statute right perspective, people have the right to have 28 days holiday. That includes all of the UK bank holidays. So that means throughout the year, you need to be checking your team's holidays and making sure that they are on track to take them and that it's not negatively going to impact your operation. That might mean you need to have a sit-down discussion with your team member and say, hey, you've not taken enough holidays at the moment. You have to take them by the end of the year. Most people's holiday year that we work with is either 1st of April through to the 31st of March or the 1st of January through to the end of December. So there's key times of year that I recommend you looking at your holidays from a management perspective and just working out whether you've got any issues that are likely to crop up. Typically, you want people to have taken or at least scheduled that they're taking all of their leave by 3/4 of a way through your holiday year. That's, as a rule of thumb, that's what you want to be looking at, but you want to be looking at this every quarter. Okay, so have a look every quarter, see how much holiday they've taken, have they taken how much you need them to have. So it's pretty easy as a calc. Unless you are a business that are working the bank holidays, you basically want to make sure that they have booked off 5 days holiday at least in each quarter, or they've not booked off one quarter because they've taken a 2-week holiday and already pre-booked it in another. So if you can just make sure each quarter that you are looking at that, and I suggest a January look, an April look, a summertime look, and typically I look at September. So those are the months that I would, so summertime, I because of holidays, that's why I say summertime. You just need to be looking in the summertime. Sometimes I look in June, sometimes I look in May, which is pretty early considering you're looking in April, but that's when people are typically really booking their holidays. So there we go. It's a statute right. You're not allowed to allow carryover. The only time you can do carryover is if it is you give more holidays than their statute right, which means that you are giving them more than 28 days holiday. So i.e. you might be giving them the 20 plus the 8. You can't do anything. You've got to make sure they use all of that. If it is that you give them 25 plus the 8 or somewhere in between, then it's the 5 that you're then allowed to do. They can lose those. That's it. That's the myth unmystified, so to speak. So you are allowed to then carry that over or make a payout for those extra over and above the statute right. I hope that was helpful.